Hello, everyone. Assalamu alaikum. I hope everybody is fine and happy at their place. This is me, Sindhu Sanvar, with a brand new show, just like always. Just a little different that we didn't start it on Friday. We started on Thursday because you all have our finals and we all are crazy busy. So we thought of, not missing out on our whole sync that is going on with the Harry Potter series. The Harry Potter franchise is actually one of the most biggest franchise because it actually encompasses the adults and the kids together. We as children read it. Now our children are reading it, and in the future generations as well, it's going to be loved. Because of the way the book is fictional, but it actually encompasses love, friendship, tragedy, depression, all of it. You talk about it; it is a big umbrella that is taking everything inside it. Today in my book club, I have with me Aisha Fez. Hello, Aisha. How are you?
Hi, Sundar, I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine as well. And I have Hira Sahir. Hello, Hira.
Hello, Sundar. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in again.
Thank
As
you
you
for
guys
having
know, that
us.
um, we talk about the Harry Potter series. Soumya is just, messaging because she wants to make us feel like she's here. Soumya, you can actually make us feel like you're here. Don't have to talk about my flattery. Just talk about the book with me, okay? So let's start off with the book that is The Prisoner of Azkaban. So we're on our part three now. This is actually Soumya's favorite part. We were all excited with her, but we miss you, Soumya. Really wish that you could have joined us. So you guys tell me, when we look at The Prisoner of Azkaban, so Hira gave her very blunt and completely uttermost experience of the book that this is one of the not so liked parts by
That's
me.
my
So
least
I'll
favorite.
take the lead. I'll give the lead to you. You tell me why do you think that it's not coming up to your mark?
All right. I think, okay, a disclaimer first, like I said already, and you put it very nicely and very bluntly as well, that, this is my least favorite movie. And consequently, this was also the first Harry Potter movie that I ever saw. So this was the first movie that I saw, and then I went and read the novels. So the movie was my first introduction to Harry Potter, the world of Harry Potter, and it did intrigue me obviously. But when I look back at the movie later on, after having read the novel and everything, Prisoner of Azkaban, I see that a lot of details that are there in the novel and the way that they have been given have not really translated that well into the movie. And I remember that Goblet of no, not Goblet of Fire, Chamber of Secrets and Prisoner of Azkaban. Both of these movies got a lot of hate from the fans back then when they were released, because all of the fans felt, the Potterheads felt, that they did not live up to the mark of the books, and they did not live up to the mark of the first movie either. And a lot of this had to do with had to do with the fact that, Dumbledore, the original Dumbledore, died as well, and then there was this other dude in his place that we just couldn't connect with him. So I think, yes, mostly because of that. Then again, the third movie, this is when things begin to get really serious. And the transition is easy to see from the first novel, the second novel, and the third novel. But in the movies, it's not that visible. It's not made that apparent. Up until the second book, The Chamber of Secrets, things are fine. Things are, PG-10. But you come to the
Mhm.
book three, and things all of a sudden they're gray and they're dull, and there's it's gloomy, and you feel like it's the winter all of a sudden, like, winter is coming and it's here in the Harry Potter world. So I did feel that the third one was a bit depressing, to be honest.
So, there's always something that I believe when it comes to fictional movies is the magic and the way the magic is portrayed. One thing that I really love about this movie is that it gets dark. For me, a little darkness with magic is always preferred because I always used to see that, Harry Potter was a very happy go, to movie for me when we started it off. Somehow, when the darkness came in it, and to be very clear, I did not read the novels, also not the books first. I actually completed the whole, movies, and then afterwards I read the books. So for me, it was a change. It was a very big change. Uh, Talking about the Prisoner of Azkaban itself, it's very cool to see the cinematography and the visuals getting so cool. At the same time, I would say for me, the risk taker in Harry, I can see it in him. The person who's there and the person who wants to be the hero, or who wants to challenge something is there, and I somehow like it. I see the transition of Harry in it. So for me, I would say it was really cool to see that he stands up for himself. He says, "Shut up, Malfoy." All of the small parts. I have to say that those small parts when he just stands up for himself actually makes up me. For me, that better part. Talking about the book, one thing that I really, really, really wanted to see, was the role of Shoshank. That's, actually shown to us in the Goblet of Fire. She was not there. She could have been there, after the Quidditch match, but I feel like that was the part missing, and I really wanted to see that part in the movie. I'm not gonna start off with the movie and the book first, but for me, the book, I think it was good. It was a good transition. It showed off a whole new side of Hogwarts, a new side of the forest. You know, I have to say the character of Buckbeak. I love absolutely. I think that I fell in love with the little bird, the big bird, not little, but somehow it showed me Hagrid in the bird. It showed me the way you see Hagrid, so big but so gentle and so there at the same time, always ready to crumble everybody away. So for me, I would say I really liked that character. So Aisha, you tell me, what do you have to say about the book?
Okay, you talked about the aspect of Azkaban. So something that came to my mind was this one. When Cornelius Fudge says that we don't just send people to Azkaban just for blowing up their aunts. Okay, so my one of my most favorite scenes, no matter when I read it in the book or the movie, I laughed like crazy because being a Pakistani, that aunt effect is a lot more. Like we have it no matter where we go, no matter which way that we take. The aunt effect is always there. Aunt is an aunt. So I love that part when Aunt Margie is blown up, and the way that they've shown it, in the movie has much more aspects. It's shown much more on a bigger platform, but in the book it's not such. Like it's not that scary, but it's I don't know, just that part is just so funny. It's stuck in my mind. Like whenever I think of Prisoners of Azkaban, that's that one shot that comes to my mind. Other than that, if we talk about something, okay, I'm a sort of a person that would love reading love stories, or I love reading magical movies which change, like which show like big changes happening. But for me, this book again, I would agree with Hira that it was gray and it was very gloomy. So like for me, it was like when I was watching it, I was like, okay, you know, uh, the it shows. I don't know. It made me feel depressed. It made me feel that all the dreams and all the memories, the negativities that you have back of your mind, it sort of like reappeared again. Like it shows that be it Harry's parents, be it Cyrus Black that we talk about is a very big part of this movie. But I sort of missed the connection between Crookshank and Cyrus. They had really good friendship, but I felt the movie it was lost. It wasn't there in the movie. Then there are small parts. For example, for me, that's one part in the book when Ron, Harry, and Hermione they're all going to Hagrid's hut, and Draco comes in and Malfoy is like trying to like be again his Malfoy self, and Hermione slaps him there. This was like shown totally
Yes.
opposite in the movie. In the movie it's shown that they're coming back to the castle when she slaps Malfoy, and then comes another. There's another bit when Malfoy is, like threatening to after the mud blood part that happens, and they've omitted those parts. So there's some parts which were very, effective and very special for the book. When you read it, those are those little teeny tiny parts which actually bring the book together that they missed a lot of parts in the movie. I feel so that I think made the movie even more gloomier, and there is white and there is black, but this movie was gray. There was no white and black parts. The balance of white and black. It's very amazing to see that black and white part. And yes, obviously life has gray parts and well. But for me, I felt that this book could have been a very beautiful blend in the movie part. So yeah, that's that one part that I don't like. Otherwise, I love Harry Potter, and I wish I could get one for myself. But yeah.
The way you go in the last line, I love Harry Potter. I wish I could go to all of them.
Yeah.
I just love that part. Uh, talking about missing out, Somya is also also adding up that they missed on Crookshanks being a friend and a helper to Batwood, and the same way you were talking about Aisha. Girls, what do you say when I talk about the movie and I talk about the book? What were those scenes that you were really, really wanting to see? So I talked about one, me being the person who wants to see the characters coming and the sparkle or something that starts off with Harry, but I don't see Shushank. Or if I talk about the role of Buckbeak. Okay, so now the biggest thing I would say, there were 7 hippogriffs, okay, in the book. They only talk about Buckbeak. We do not talk about any others. Where are they? Where are those great species that I also wanted to see? That's one thing that I really, really missed out on. And talking about, if I look at the transition of how Hermione and Harry visit their past, and that part is completely omitted, like it's not shown the way it should be, or the exaggerated Buckbeak ride of Harry's, that was not that exaggerated in the book. It was just he just went through the forest, but in the movie we actually see that he's living it, he's going around, he's leaving himself, and he's like you know living that enthusiastic moment. So for me, I would say that was a little exaggerated, the same way that you guys actually are saying that it kind of elongates at the wrong parts. It should have not been that way. So I'll take on Hira's take on it. Hira, what do you have to say? What was that part that was not there? Hira, you are muted. Okay, wait.
All right, sorry. So one of the parts
Okay.
that I really enjoyed, let me talk about that first, that was there in the movie, but which wasn't really there in the books, was when Hermione goes and slaps Draco. Because we have been wanting, we have been wishing for that to happen since book one and movie one. So someone finally has the guts to do that. And the way, she says it, that you filthy little cockroach. That was insane. And I remember that when we saw that in the trailer first, it was the most talked about scene there was. And Hermione says this to Draco. So yes, that is the favorite scene that I have in the book. In the movie, that wasn't there in the book. She doesn't really call him a cockroach in the book. And what I miss seeing the most in the movie, and which was there in the books obviously, but didn't translate as well into the movies, was the scene where they come. Where uh, they uh, where where they go to see Aragog. Was it that one? Buckbeak and Aragog, right?
Yes.
All right. So that would no. I think I'm confusing. I'm
Yeah.
confusing this with Chamber of with God Chamber
The
of
Chamber of
Secrets.
Secrets with the Prisoner of
Yes,
Azkaban.
yes. No, no, no. Okay, so my favorite scene would be where there's this whole mystery around Sirius, and it takes a lot for Harry to uh, go against the narrative that Sirius Black was he's the murderer of his parents, and it takes a lot of courage for him to go against that narrative. He finds out that this person has murdered his parents, and then for him to go against that belief, to go against what he's been fed by everyone that he knows, even Lupin to some extent I think believes that. So I think that struggle is shown really well in the novels but not in the movie. It was a little unbelievable for me to see how Harry can, all of a sudden believe what Sirius has to say, and not what he's been told all along. So that
Yes.
was a bit unbelievable for me over there.
That's true. Talking to Aisha now. Aisha, what do you have to say?
Okay. Okay. I'll start with something that was not there in the movie, and like one of my personal favorite characters was Chu Chang. I love Chu Chang's character, but the one thing that I do not like is the fact that they don't really talk about or introduce Chu Chang till you know. So that's what I don't personally like. Though Chu Chang has very important part I feel in the Quidditch match that happens between Ravenclaw and Gryffindor, where Harry wins. Chuchan tails Harry behind, just to find the snitch before
Yeah.
him. So I feel that I was that part was
I was really
Chuchan was much
wanting that
more.
to come.
Yeah, so I just wish that had happened. But one part that I really enjoyed in the movie was the part where Hogwarts Choir is introduced, and Flitwick has she directs the whole choir, and they sing the Double Trouble song. So for me, that was another thing that I enjoyed that part there. And how Hira just said that the part of the mystery and everything that happens there. Um, it is exhilarating because you're like, okay, what's happening next? It is at the same time it's very frustrating as well. You feel like throwing something on your TV or on the screen while you're watching the movie. Being a Pathan, I would have be a little more exaggerated there. But yeah, that's how Pathans are or how you put it. So, like I would like put it that in there. But one thing that I really enjoyed in the book was Harry's that Petronas memory portion. What happens in the book, they show that Harry tries to attempt it 3 times, thinking of a happy memory because the Petronas was better there. And in the book, in the movie, they show that in the second attempt, Harry is able to achieve that. In the second attempt, the Petronas affects it. Whereas in the book, they show that
Yeah.
it's the third attempt which takes place in the first time because he's making up a memory of his parents talking, which is a happy memory. So I feel those bits and pieces collectively make a lot of difference. So when you read a book, it's so collective, and it's very difficult to write a book. I have done 4 attempts to try and write a book about uh, something or the other. It is very difficult. So and even a movie, compiling up things in the movie, thinking about the perspective of people and to collectively put it, it is very difficult. I would think something else. Hira would say something else, and so you would say something else on this. But then I feel yes, there are things that are up and down, but then their attempt was really beautiful. So the whole series for me is like no matter what I'm a little biased towards the whole series because I enjoy it. I would want my children and their children to watch it. So yeah.
There's also this comment by Misbah Hareen that I see, and I agree with her 100% that the novels have the book has this entire backstory and history of the Marauders. How the 4 friends came together,
Yes.
what friend got what to the group, who gelled the group together, and what they got up to when they were boys, and the entire thing that Lupin narrates and tells Harry and Sirius pitches in, that is missing from the book. So
Yeah.
from the movie. So yes, that is a missing element. That is why that is why you don't really connect to the movie in the same way that you do with the novel. And this discord between the movie and the novel, I feel it the most in this particular book and movie sequence. Not in the other ones as much, but particularly in this one, because I feel that it kind of rushed through
Yeah.
everything, and it kind of left out a lot of significant minute details, but details which would have been
So
significant.
very, yeah. I love what Soumya has written. I love Cyrus. Cyrus for me is like he is real. He would put in whatever he feels. He's like put in the mouth out of a person that I feel. So I love this quote that she put out by Cyrus says that you have
Hmm.
died rather than betray your friends as
Betray your
we.
friends, yes.
Yeah, so yeah, that is so true. Like there are those parts there
You know, I,
of
I, I
Cyrus.
can I can read this in Sonia's tone. It's so 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 good, so good, you guys. In
You
the
know,
best part of the movie.
I think this
Okay,
movie also a big credit goes to this book and movie as well for giving us these two timeless phrases which would go down in history in every teenager's probably diary and now passwords. That number one, mischief managed. I remember this was my password at some point. I won't disclose if it's still my password or
no,
not,
I
but
didn't. I
yes,
know that.
mischief managed, and the other one was I solemnly swear that I am up to no good. I cannot tell the number of times that my friends and I sat together
I
and we
heard of
would
that. I
we
have
would
said that.
cry over assignments and we would cry over exams, and then we would say, I solemnly swear I'm up to no good. I swear I cannot do this. So I think ये बहुत एक timeless, statements और वो हैं जो हमें which are thanks to this movie and this book we have these to go down in history. And one more
Definitely.
Yeah.
favorite quote that I have from this, let me just tell that right now. Dumbledore says that happiness can be found in the darkest of times, and that is so
Yes.
true. He says that with regards to the Dementors and finding
Yeah.
strength to summon a Patronus and everything to Harry. But I think it translates to us as well. I mean, personally, just so this you, me, Aisha, I'm pretty sure that we have faced some pretty dark and terrible times. Unfortunately, that is true. And you can always find a light at the end of the tunnel, and you can always find happiness and hope even in the most darkest of times. So that is a children's book, and then such an important lesson that we would realize that as an adult, it's very true. You can life goes on, and you'll always find a silver lining somewhere, even in the darkest of clouds.
That's
No,
so
when
true.
we talk, no, when
Biggest. No, Aisha, you may start. What do you say?
No, no, no. I was just saying that, sorry. I was just saying that, when you guys are talking about quotes, so I would like to put in Remus Lupin,
Yes,
that,
yes,
where they say that, I'm very impressed that suggests that what you fear the most of all is fear itself. This is very
yes,
wise, so that is true.
yes.
Like, we don't have, there is nothing that we say that I'm scared of heights, I'm scared of, it's just generally fear that's keeping you from, pushing your boundaries and just that leap of faith that take. I feel so, yeah, that you do learn out of books, no matter it is fiction, no matter what you guys, I just suggest people around me, I literally shove books in people's hand because, and they come back to me and they say that, oh my God, yes, the books do make difference. So I feel that, we do this little thing. I hope we contribute in some way or the other, for people's lives to make changes. But I feel that everybody, guys, read books. No matter you read a love story, there is something you learn out of it, be it a close one, you become more closer to your family, or be it books like these, they bring magic to your life any which ways. So I feel that it makes a change for people. So yeah, no fears, only faith of belief. Take chances. It's okay to fail at the end of it, but do take chances in life.
Uh, I totally agree to how you both have summed it up. And Hira, if you can just give us your quote as well, so I'll complete the whole session because
Uh,
Hira, oh sorry, Aisha, sorry, Hira has already given hers.
yeah,
Okay, I had the same one. Honestly, the quote here, but there's no specific quote. But out of the book over here, I would say that friendship is very important in life, just to survive. A person on its own, a human being, or as we say, an ashraful makhlukat, it's very difficult to survive on your own in the world or generally. We do suggest, we do think of ourselves as कि हम अकेले रह सकते हैं, but long run में it's not possible. You need somebody. So keep the ones that are true to you. Yes, we do find it difficult to agree to things with people, and I feel the more abrupt and blunt a person is to you, the more they care for you, because only a person who's close to you would tell you your true khamia, or your true, the things that you're missing in life, or the wrong, to correct them. So I feel that, guys, keep your friends close. Family is very important, but I feel good friends are a big blessing that Allah Ta'ala has given. So just like Hermione, Ron, and Harry, whoever if you have, keep them closer to you.
Neville, Neville Longbottom. Look at how Neville shines at the
Yeah,
end. So he's a
you
great
know,
friend as well. Yes.
yeah.
So,
So
mixing it all up together and coming up with my conclusion would be that it tells us about friendship. The book, especially, I would say, encompasses friendship really well. It shows us how serious, how serious Black and how Lupus, everybody together, what they make up, what they are, what history they had, with the Harry's father. My favorite quote has to be a little cliche, but I have to, and I really would prefer, agar Somya, you also share your quote, because obviously you are here sharing your thoughts. So please, anything serious Black utters from beautiful face of his is my favorite quote. Oh my God, this woman is on another
she's
floor. Okay,
biased. She's biased towards one character. I feel.
she's gone. She's gone with the character. So
I wish
I'm
she
gonna.
was here.
Yeah, I really miss her as well. So I also had a favorite quote from Sirius Black. and Ajib, she's going to go crazy because of it. But the ones who love us, they never really leave us, and you can always find them in here. So, the particular moment when he says this, I do believe that it encompasses how much he actually means and what, part and the special part, the guardian part he plays in Harry's life. I say that with all my heart that sometimes your parents, your friends can do nothing, but that special person who just comes in your life and they're just there for a protection, and they're not for love. It's not a relationship, but it's just something of a guardianship that some elders or some people who are close to you show you that actually leads you through it. So my favorite character has to be Sirius Black, especially because he shows the way. He shows something beautiful from something completely dark, and I believe that everybody holds a story in them, and we do become dark over the time. But as Aisha says that it's better to put up that light, and as Hira said that it's always there's always light at the end of the tunnel, and I do agree to that. This ends up our session for the love of Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, our third session and our third book that's down the road. Now we have a fourth book in line, and I hope Somya will join us in that one. And I see you all together with me on Friday this time, and with a very good note that please, thank you so much, you guys, for coming. I really appreciate it. You both make time for me and always give Greenwich University your little, intellect that we all share. So thank you so much. This was my little book club. Hira Savir, Aisha Faiz with me. They both have shared their insights about the book. They both have shared their thoughts about how much they have actually loved and how much they were missing in The Prisoner of Azkaban. We try to bring reading forward, and this is just one of our acts in doing that. If you guys liked it, if you guys want to prefer more of this, please do let me know. And before I end up, I'll just add up Sonia's quote. My favorite quote, other than from Cyrus in the movie from Snape, that is the second time you have spoken out of turn, Miss Granger, said Snape coolly, 5 more points for Gryffindor for being an insufferable know-it-all. That's me, Susan Var, signing off from Greenwich University's platform. Really appreciate our university for giving us this time, this platform to express our love for reading, to express our love for literature, and how much literature encompasses in one's person's life. Thank you so much, everybody. Take good care of yourself and love us.